the world that's coming into existence now, we have to look at what are going to be our major problems. And one of the major problems we're going to have is a problem with food production. As you know, Russia is one of the main suppliers of potash, which is used to make fertilizer. And for countries that do not have uh, the geography and the that's going to be a major problem. And there's also going to be a need for countries to become a little bit less specialized because of the global revolution that's happening, and where exports was possible, kumquats, wheat imports, automobile imports. A lot of these countries are going to have to become a little bit more sustainable on their own. And you have to take into account the factors such as the disruption of the supply of fertilizer. And we are already knee deep due to the conflict in Ukraine. In the best case scenario, where there are no wars over anything, merely matching each country's output to its requirements, will cut the number of calories that we're able to consume by at least half. And that's not good because we have about 3 billion in population that is going to have we're going to have trouble being able to feed. I do believe that the U.S. and countries such as the Western countries, the U.S., France, Germany, etc., are not going to be able to cover this absence of food. And even with our technology advances and such, we're likely to be not included in that list. We look at countries in South America such as Argentina, and Argentina is not likely also to be able to help and be representative in technological advancements as well, because they're suffering through their own crisis as far as politics are concerned. There's going to be an increase in a number of famine-related deaths worldwide throughout the course of the next following years. There's going to be some terrible shifts, and I can't see a way that we're going to be able to prevent it. For the time being, there's going to be an issue with the food supplies, and also with an issue with power and the financial resources, because that's going to be taking off a lot of important means of supply to production facilities, energy, and the ingredients used to make certain things that are finished products that are being used in the world. There's going to be an absence of those particular materials available. And we were always claiming to pursue some level of democracy and some level of economic shift. And it's the opinion of most economists that in any kind of democratic system, where wages have increased more rapidly in the past 2 years, it's changed the way that the economic model is functioning. That means that the cost of the labor is going up. So this is going to affect China as well. China, the cost of his labor means that as the cost of his labor rises, that means that there's less chance of us being able to use them as a means of producing materials and producing products in the world. I hope that and the role of the state, and now we get to do on a global scale during an energy crisis, a food crisis, and a financial crisis. We're not going to get it right on the first trip, because usually in times of stress, the state strengthens, and usually in times of war, the state weakens, because it needs to cast a wider net for support. So there are patterns in play that I'm not exactly comfortable with, but when I look forward, I can see some movement, and the movement is to change. As a result, there are not the kinds of things that would ordinarily establish a strong state. I believe we see the state dissolution in more places than we have seen in the past 75 years. I believe we will, and for countries that can make it, it all depends on how reliable the food and energy supplies are, and whether or not they muster the internal finance to generate their own supply chains, which is easier with latitude. Energy. Energy is very important. It's very important to the production. It's very important to the products that are produced on the open markets. We're looking at a situation in Germany where Germany needs to have a certain amount of energy for its industrial facilities to function. It doesn't look like they're going to have that energy available. So starting in the next couple of months and years, you're going to start to see a lot of those products go offline. All demographics and materials from Western countries and